Welcome to the What? Hip Hop Questions, Legends, and Lists. My name is Mouse Jones, and with me is my sister, my home dog, Nyla, Symone, and
home dog.
I like that.
Home dog?
Home dog.
Oh my God. He's just making up words today. Go ahead.
I felt like that was like all inclusive. I only want to do inclusive.
My
speak.
Home dog.
Like there's no gender connected to that. Anyone could be my home dog.
I'm not offended. That was a unique word.
Like sister is pretty gender specific, right?
I mean, but I am your sister.
You
I
are.
do identify as a girl. Pronouns is she,
Always.
her. So I mean, huh?
Always.
Nigga, don't fucking play with me.
Helping us through this is our producers, D Block, Darren, and what are you doing?
This is D Block, mighty D Block.
Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, D Block, come to the camera, hit a two-step.
No, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it.
Oh God.
And of course, our man, A King, legend in this podcast game, legend. That would be on you now.
Oh, A King, I don't have no beat for you. I'm sorry. I
opened up the space for you to you didn't even want.
I couldn't think of nothing. Eat the beat? Oh, that's just
You trying to be childish.
Yeah, I ain't trying to do that today.
trying to be childish.
We're already beefing over other shit. I'm still mad about all the shirt comments from the other episode. But anyway,
What?
let's
No,
neither here nor there. No.
Let's address this right now. Let's use 5 seconds to address this right now. What shirt comments are you upset about? Because everybody gave you compliments on your shirt all day.
Yeah, but it just was like it started off as a compliment and then it turned into something else. And you know how you do. You know yourself.
Why is it me?
You know yourself.
There was 3 other people.
Look, I'm not here to talk about shirts today. I'm here to talk about mixtapes.
Ooh, I like that.
All right.
Let's talk about them.
Let's talk about them.
Let's talk about it.
So, one of the best albums to drop last year, easily, is Tyler the Creator's
Absolutely.
Call Me If You Get Lost.
Yeah.
Which was hosted by DJ Drama, which I feel like this is the first album Drama has hosted, right? For another artist.
Oh, yeah, because I was like, he did his Gangsta
He did his
Girls.
own.
He did his Gangsta Girls album.
Yeah, but this is the first
The
time.
Gangsta Girls album needs more love than it gets. Definitely needs more love as an album. That Gangsta Girl album is fire.
Yeah. Now, Drama has always had, like, aside from the other DJs who are known in this industry, to me, my favorite thing about Drama is his ear. Like, as an A&R.
Talk to me about it.
I mean, Uzi,
Yep.
Jack Harlow.
Yep.
He helped break Jeezy T.I. Gucci.
Yeah.
Wayne was already Wayne, but I mean, he still did mad tapes.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that's the, yeah, even though Wayne being Wayne, I don't think Wayne is Wayne without the Drama tapes. Because you think about it. You think
Wayne
about
was already Wayne though.
Not really.
He was.
Not really. What the dedication,
Because
right?
those tapes came out before Carter 3. Wayne was already.
Before Carter 2.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. I have them on my phone.
All right. It doesn't even matter. Wayne, all his accolades, Drama has a great ear. So I think it's super dope to see him and Tyler going on tour. And it kind of just for the nostalgia aspect is like, damn, I grew up listening to mixtapes, so seeing them do that was super fly.
Yeah. And I think one thing about it is the evolution of mixtapes, right?
Yeah.
Mixtapes went from being something that was just traded amongst, people that were learning this new
Barbershops.
thing. Not even barbershops, like, not even being funny. Like Darren and A King could probably remember like early onset of hip hop mixtapes being like literally recorded on cassette tapes and being passed around and sold that way. Like I think back to the movie Juice, right? Early on, when Q comes up to old boy comes up to Q and is like, "Yo, you got that tape for me? I got Shorty coming over." And he's like, "Yeah, it's 10." He was like, "What?" He says 10. And then he's like, $10. It was just $5. He was like, "Did you get your Jimmy wax?" He was like, "My mother waxes the silverware in my house."
Yo, what?
It was just showing you how important these tapes were to hip hop and like furthering the agenda of hip hop, for getting more people involved in it.
Yeah.
To see it go from that to then seeing artists take, not even artists, see DJs really put their stamp on it and push it as a brand and brand themselves through the mixtape. Kid Capri, a legend.
Yep.
A legend. Kid Capri doing these, the famous Stephanie Mills breakbeat, like Kid Capri doing it, Clue doing it.
Yep.
I mean, at that time, you know, even Flex, like
Who Kid,
like all these people.
Envy. Shit, there's a
Envy.
lot. Yeah.
Like there's so many DJs that branded themselves through their mixtapes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I think that's so dope. And then to watch the evolution to where, you know, you get to a certain point where the artist starts to take hold of that.
Yeah.
And you got, you know, I don't think anybody revolutionized the mixtape the way that G Unit did. 50 and all the G Unit radios and like 50 said, "Oh, I can't get in. All right, I'm gonna release this." And like, there's a certain fluidity and autonomy that the mixtape allowed him to do because there was no rules to it. It's not an album. There's no rules to it. I can say what I want. I can do what I want. I can release it how I want.
Right.
Even to what you were talking about off air. You know, for a few years, we fast forward a few years. Gucci Mane is releasing 2 mixtapes every Friday. That's nuts.
Yeah. Content overload. Flooding the streets.
The early days before the internet, flooding the streets, and people had to get their hands on it. You know what I mean? So to see, you know, to even talk about that beginning and to like see how the mixtape has, Tyler. We're talking about Tyler. His album was done like a Gangsta Grill mixtape with drama, talking, cash, shit.
And that shit came out of nowhere. I was not expecting. That's the best part about it. Another great thing about mixtapes is how you can use sampling, you can use other beats. You don't got to go through the clearances. So if you're feeling the record, you can just put it out without going through all the extras of getting
a guy like him. And like, it's so beautiful what the mixtape became because it became a way for someone, an artist who may be like critically acclaimed and maybe didn't have like a really good major label debut. The mixtape gave them a chance to redeem themselves to their audience, right?
Yeah,
which I think is so dope. Like you look at a guy like Wale. We know he's a friend of mine, but I started out as a fan, right? And you talk about a guy like Wale who releases an album I love, but you know the masses did not love his attention deficit album.
Yeah,
some of the core fans felt he went away from what got him here.
Yeah.
What did he do?
More about nothing.
More about nothing. In my opinion, the greatest mixtape of mixtapes.
Seinfeld.
The greatest mixtape of mixtapes. I will put that mixtape against anyone's mixtape, and I don't think you find a better
easily
one.
a top 3 mixtape of all time.
And he redeemed himself.
Yeah.
And then put him in a better position to then go sign with Ross, and the MMG, and then, you know, take his career where it's been now, where he, you know, every time he releases a record, it does well at radio.
And same thing happened with Cole too. He talks about it in what's that? Love Yours, Truly Yours tapes.
Yes, the Truly. Oh my God!
In the Cole Summer record though, he talks about how he had to drop Friday Night Lights because Rock Nation was nervous about dropping him. They didn't want to put the bag behind him if you don't really got no strong fan base. So bam, he dropped the classic Friday Night Lights and that shit.
And Cole is another guy who, no matter how I feel about the specific project, Cole does a very good job of making all his albums feel like a mixtape. The only album I felt didn't feel like a mixtape was the debut album. Sideline Story felt like an album. It felt like a major label album.
Yeah.
But when you get into Born Center, if we're just talking about the major label, if we're just talking about his major label releases, like those albums were done in the way he did all his mixtapes. You understand what I'm saying?
Enough mouse enough. So today we got a very special guest in the building.
That's a fact.
If there was a Mount Rushmore of DJs, this guy would definitely be on there. Somebody that I look up to and has mentored me. We got DJ Clue.
The gang.
Yeah, we need
a sound. Yo, whoever's editing, make sure we put a sound. We gotta be right. This the community right here.
And I want the inaugurational noise as I'm giving that introduction too. Like this.
Okay.
Inaugurational noise.
You want some drums or something?
Yes. A build up. Dun, 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 dun,
Inaugurational noise. That's what you want to say though. I hate everything about what you say.
All right, so today we're just going to talk about the legacy of mixtapes. And of course, we can't have this conversation without bringing you up. So we want to talk about how you got into DJing.
I used to rap. So, you know what I'm saying? That's like really how I got into DJing, man. Like I was like, you know, doing music and stuff like that. And then I just decided I like to be a little more behind the scenes than, you know, the actual artist.
So what was the rap name?
Drama. MC Drama.
What?
Ain't no way.
That's ironic and funny.
Yep, I told Drama that too, and he's like, "Word." I'm like, "Yeah, that was my rap name."
MC
But
Drama.
what was the thing that led to you saying like, yeah, I'm gonna go behind the scenes? Like, was there a battle?
Apollo.
You just think everybody goes to the Apollo? That's what you think?
I think I just fell in love with the music side of it, like being creative and stuff like that. So I think I just fell in love with
Being
that
able to
side
see music a different way.
of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, I respect
Were
that.
you always so once you jumped in DJing, automatically did you jump into the mixtape side of things? Were you the guy recording the songs, putting it on a tape, mass recording the tapes, and
Oh yeah, I did everything.
Fire.
So I made sure I learned how to do everything. So I always feel like when you try to skip steps, it's like you're always gonna be missing something.
Right.
Element. So you know what I mean. I do a little bit of everything.
Now, for those who don't know, you're from Queens, but what was your upbringing like? Because I know in the early 90s, hip hop wasn't really like the safest, nor was it really like, nor did people really know what it was. So, like, did you get
It might be a little more
pushback?
dangerous now, man. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Because I mean, at least back then, like it was, people would, fist fight. Now it's like everybody want to quick to grab their gun. So it's like,
were artists as sensitive about their rap and about their whole personas back then? Like,
yeah, but if somebody diss you, you would just diss them back on the song.
Right.
It wasn't like, all right, when I see you in the
Guns
club,
blazing.
right, it's gonna be a shootout. It wasn't that type of time. You know what I mean? So I mean, it was,
but the more, if we gotta be honest, the more dangerous it got, the better the music got.
That's not a good.
How not?
That
I'm
don't
not
weigh
agreeing
out.
with that statement anyway.
The niggas that was out beating up niggas made the music better. I'm just saying. Without MOP, music would sound completely different.
I'm not agreeing to that, but there is this little video clip of Tupac going around, and it's like Tupac.
Who that?
What? Don't do this. So there's this clip of Tupac going around, and it's like, it depends how the game's gonna go. If it's gonna be more solid niggas, then the music might just get worse. It's just gonna get more turned. If they holding on to their balls, essentially is what he said. So to your point, Pac kind of called that, but I don't think that's a good thing. But that's not. Back to Clue.
The West Coast is always claiming Pac, man, and he used to hang in Queens in my neighborhood
They
a lot.
can have him.
Really?
What do you mean?
He used to hang my man, one of my OGs, Big Stretch. That he was actually with him when he got robbed in the city. Stretch was with him, so like, rest in peace to Stretch. But
I was about to say that Stretch passed.
yeah, he used to hang in my hood and be around. So I mean, I didn't really know him back then like that, but he used to be around, and he used to hang in Jersey some too.
The West Coast can have him.
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna argue over him.
So Pac is really not even from the West like that.
I don't know exactly where
he's from nowhere,
but
he
was born here,
like
though.
Dave East. He from like everywhere, a little bit of everywhere.
No, that's fly. So growing up, you didn't get no pushback from your parents as to being in hip hop?
Nah, I mean, only pushback I really got was for playing loud music, late at night.
Okay.
But, as they seen me progressing and, becoming more popular and making money and being able to move around and be successful, they like more like, liked what was going on. They was cool with it.
They respected it.
When in your career as a DJ did you realize how important the mixtape was at that moment? Like the moment you realized it was important, how important was it at that time?
I mean, it was very important because it's like, I mean, especially back then, it's like, the mixtape was kind of like the internet, you know what I mean? It was like, that's where you heard the new music first, like, you know what I mean? So like, when I figured out, that was the route that people wanted to hear new exclusive music, that's when I just went real crazy with it. Like, I mean, because before that, I was doing more hip hop R&B blends, mixtapes.
Yeah.
And
like the Kid Capri stuff, he was doing in the early 90s.
Kid Capri, Ron G, they was all doing that type of time. And the OGs from my neighborhood, like Grandmaster Vic, Baby J.
Wow, I ain't had that name in a while.
You know what I'm saying? They was doing the mixtapes, and that's how I kind of like got a love for, you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff. And I was like, yo, if I could do a hard-ass mixtape, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could...
What was the thought process going into creating your first mixtape? Like the first one, you were like, all right, I'm gonna put this one out. This is how I'm gonna brand it. Or this is what I'm gonna be branding. What was the thought process going into it, right? Like, were you going into it as an artist? Were you going into it with A&R ear? Or were you going into it like, I'm gonna get all these exclusives? And
Nah, I was going into it more like on the A&R air type of time, because I was like, yo, if I make something that's real lit, because I was going out and buying mixtapes and had some R&B blends on it, and I was like, all right, there's 2 hot ones here, a hot one here. I was like, if I make a tape that's fire all the way through, then it's gonna sell.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? That was my thought process. You know what I mean?
So how did you get your tapes off the ground though? Because there's a lot of DJs who are putting out tapes, but what separated yours and made yours so like iconic?
I mean, it was good.
That intro.
It was good quality.
H.
It was good quality. And I just made sure, like I said, I made sure the blends on there was lit. And I kind of cheated on my first one because I was like, yo, if I started number 1, no one gonna fuck with my shit. So I started like number 36.
What you mean?
I started at number 36. Like, you know how you started tape 1? I started at tape 36.
Like he just said, this is his
Wow.
first tape. He just named it. He just said it was
number
36.
Instead of doing number
That's
1.
genius. That's
some
genius.
extra skin in the
Because now
game.
everybody's gonna feel like, oh, we've been missing out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's genius.
I like that. That's good.
Yo, this is episode 78.
But
This is
were you?
episode 78 of the What Hip Hop Questions Legends list.
I know, like back in the days, as DJs, you had to carry crates, and even with tapes, you had to be outside selling them. Like, were you out there actually hustling, or did you already have a system in place?
Nah. Because I mean, look, like it's like everything else. Like it was like a job. So you know what I mean. I would like stay in the house all day, and record these tapes. Like about 5 o'clock, put them in my book bag. You know what I'm saying? Go to Jamaica Avenue and between 6 and 7:30 was like prime time.
Rush
You go up
hour.
there, the book bag, and stay out there till you finish almost all the tapes and sell them and make that bread every day.
That's good money.
Of course.
Now,
Back
now-
then you can get you get $10 for
yeah.
a mixtape. Yeah.
What I
Yeah.
just told you. That remember I said that iconic. I was talking about before that iconic scene on Juice where Q sells the tape to his homeboy and the price went up from 5 to 10. And like just thinking about that, like a mixtape, all this music you're getting for $10. You think about now, it's almost just like streaming, right? Like for $10 a month, we get all this unlimited music.
That's true. That's true.
I want to talk about for a minute, and in all the classic mixtapes, right? There's always the DJ talking shit. Y'all talk shit. Where did that come from? Where did that part come from? Like the talking over the records in a very specific manner, right? Like you guys are talking, Drama, Big Mike at a time, like even Who Kid on the G and the radio tape. Like y'all were talking cash shit. Like where did that start?
I mean, I felt like it started, from like DJs like the Ron G's, Kick Breeze hyping up. But my shit was like, I'm trying to make sure no one don't steal my shit.
Yeah.
Steal my songs and my blends. So
it's like watermarking almost.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if cars is driving out playing it, you want them to know whose tape it is. So
Nice.
Right.
it's like a way of marketing yourself as well. Like, marketing your name.
Okay.
See, I always thought it was like some like DJ beef type shit. Like you gotta have a good talk
hype.
game.
What was I gonna say?
We're down on Canal Street. Was this a drop for tapes?
Canal Street was the bootleg hub. This is where the most bootlegging in the city was going.
So is this where you wanted to end, like this is where you wanted to get your tape from a
This is kind of where you might want to come to first, because if you don't, you want to come here this is where you want to start dropping at, because you don't want them to bootleg your shit. Like you want to come in first.
You want to bring the original.
Yeah, you want to come in first and sell as much as you can, and then go everywhere else, because they would bootleg like the same. Like they would get it the same day if they heard it was out. Like, you know what I mean? If you had a lit, product, they would bootleg it. So like you would come. I mean,
was that not like a obviously economically at the time that wasn't
I almost got arrested up here a few times
Word?
fighting.
They was trying to rob you?
no, he was probably
Snuffing bootleggers.
See,
man.
I knew that's what it was.
I was on it.
Uh,
You know what I mean? Like you don't have you got my shit. You gotta give me some bread. You don't want to pay. It's lit.
Dang.
It's up.
William
So paint the picture for us, because a lot of people today weren't able to experience the whole mixtape era. It's the 90s. You're in the clubs. New York City's nightlife scene is actually completely different than what it is like now too.
Yeah.
So talk about that and how you built
trash.
relationships with the artists that you got on your tapes.
It started out just getting exclusives, like the people I knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like with the whole the Biggie situation, like I had like it was if at first it started out as kind of like beef, but it kind of like, you know, it got squashed, and then, you know, I mean, I had some exclusives from Biggie, and, you know, he wasn't too happy about it, me putting it on my tape before it came out. So he went up to I think he went to Flex's show and was like,
did Diddy
I'm
call
looking
you?
for you. No, you know what? Me and Diddy spoke because at the time I was working up at RCA in Steve Stout's office, and he called over there, and I knew that, you know, there was a little bit of beef. I'm like, yo, like, what's up? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, like, I heard y'all was looking for me. And he was like, I mean, he was really calm about it. He wasn't really tripping like that. He was just like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to know where I got it from. I wouldn't tell him, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, yo, just going forward, you know, let's try to, because like a lot of them cats that worked for him, like Harv Pierre, they was from my neighborhood. They like, you know what I mean? They like was around my way and shit. So, I mean, between Harv and Nasheem and like their whole squad was from like 4 blocks away from me. Like they just didn't know at the time, like, when
The relation.
Clue came out, no one knew what I looked like. It was because I kept the mystique with just putting a question mark on the front of my cover. Like, that was like my marketing shit. Like,
Smart.
you know what I mean? So, I mean, when they found out it was me, like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Everyone just became cool about it. And like, we just squashed it and then moved
Damn,
forward.
wait. So were you ever in a situation where they like, yo, who is this nigga Clue? And you just it was like,
You just in the room chilling?
Yeah.
Nah, but, I mean, like, I remember way back when, before Miami was popping, like, you know what I'm saying, like for holiday weekends, it was Virginia Beach.
Yep.
That's where everyone used to
Oh,
go
wow.
to. So we went to Virginia Beach. It was like 25 of us. We all, like, we had our cars and shit. We drove down there. And obviously these dudes was looking for me. They don't know what I look like. So they was all on the street marching with the little, you know, bad boy picks, bad boy. And
Promo team.
I left everyone in the hotel and was running to 7-Eleven to get something real quick. And I was like, oh shit. It's like probably 40 or 50 of them walking down the street. Bad boy. And I'm like, I'm walking, but I know they don't know what I look like. So I just kept walking. I walked right through them. They don't know what I look like.
Hilarious.
I went in the store, got my shit, went back to my hotel. Like they was looking for me, but they didn't know what I look like.
That's funny.
So like, even talking about it now, right? Like, you know, rest in peace, Big and Puff. They didn't know, you know, how.
Puff's still alive again.
Like, no, yeah, I know that. That's why I said Big.
Thank God.
But yeah, like at the time, it sounded like they didn't know how helpful and how integral that
at the start.
So when was the moment that you noticed that people are starting to appreciate you having the exclusive and wanting to get you the exclusive?
Probably the defining moment when it became like kind of lit like that was probably probably a little before that. I think I had the Method Man remix. So it's probably the All I Need remix. I had that. I had Mobb Deep with Nas song on it. I had a couple songs on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was like just like getting started with college and shit.
Yeah.
And, I was in the area in downtown Brooklyn. I went to school at New York Tech, and I went to like B Street over there. I dropped a couple tapes off over there because I was trying to, like, you know, like just expand the business a little bit. So I dropped a couple tapes off there, and them shits flew out the store dumb quick.
Damn.
And they called me like, yo, we need more tapes. I was like, we need more tapes already? Like,
I just dropped.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just dropped them off before I went to school. So I was like, damn, like, all right. So then I dropped some more, and the shit kept selling. And he's like, yo, you got to go to my store in the Bronx, like, and bring some shit up there too. So I'm like, all right. So boom, I loaded the Brooklyn store up, went to the Bronx, loaded the Bronx store up, and he's like, yo, I need film for my Queens store.
Man.
Load the Queens store up.
It was a good little make it.
It was getting lit, like, to the point where
Lucky for you, gas was not what it is now.
to the point where I couldn't even keep up with it at the time. And then I had outsourced to a company in Texas, and they was like mass producing them for me. But then I guess, you know, like, you know, the way that the piracy laws is going, they like kind of like caught on to who I was, and they was like, yo, we can't be
doing
this shit no more. Yeah, so I had to. But they was doing my shit fire. Like, they was doing it just like I was doing my shit, just like how albums look like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the artwork,
I
and it was
remember.
wrapped up
Uh-huh.
and had the printing on the actual cassette. My shit was looking lit. So
I
it was
remember.
good for a little while, but then became to the point where, it got kind of like,
Was it because of like all the law or because of all the attention where you was like, all right, let me just do an album, or was the album something the professional what you wanted to do?
I always talked about doing it. Irv Gotti had stepped to me and said, yo, he's like, yo, I think, saying I could introduce you to somebody who would end up being Jay-Z and Dame Dash. Like, yo, they think you could do an album over there. So he had bought Jay to, Jay came to meet me at like Harlem Music Hut uptown in Harlem. I was dropping some takes. He had a record he wanted to, he was trying to push. And he wanted to give me the record, whatever. And then that's how that relationship kind of started with Jay. And then from there, it was just like, they was talking about it, but it just never happened. You know what I'm saying? And then Steve Stout was at Sony at the time. And he put an offer on the table. And then I had called, Jay and Dane just out of courtesy, like, yo, like, I'm just letting you know I'm getting ready to do this deal over. And they was like, wait, whoa, what you mean? I'm like, yo, like, he made me an offer. And he offered me, I think he offered me like, maybe like at the time, maybe he offered me like 50,000 more than they offered me.
Right.
And then Jay and Dame and Biggs was mad. They was mad. They marched down from their offices and came up to Steve Stout's office, and they was like,
no.
Yeah, they was mad. And they was like, yo, fuck that, You know what I'm saying? And I was like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm like, look, I'm always a man of my word. So if y'all want to do the deal, like, you know what I'm saying, I'll do the deal with y'all. Y'all just got to match the offer. And that's how it happened.
Fire. Yeah. Dang, that leverage. That's game right there. I got to take notes on that leverage right there.
Do you remember what that moment was like when you heard Best of Me Part 2? Like the first time you heard it?
Do I remember?
Yeah, like do you remember that moment?
Yeah, I remember when it was all, coming together, like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that was, at the time, I had so much, I was up to my neck in pause and stuff to do. So I was like, like, I feel like a lot of times, like, and I think this goes for everybody, at times you don't realize how big the moment is till way after sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, perfect example is like, when I had the Reebok commercial, the obviously Reebok commercial and shit. I had that, and then I seen it was coming on during the NBA playoffs all the time.
Yep.
Years later, I saw when Khaled had his commercial,
right,
and it was going on the NBA shit, and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, I remember when I had my shit like that, and I was like, yo, like, like,
your shit was way tougher. Your shit was way tougher. That Khaled shit was not hitting.
So let's talk about because you done it all. You done dropped albums. You done signed artists that became super successful. You made them A-listers. You've already legendary mixtapes before that. So like your resume is nuts. As like we have this new age of DJing, do you feel like there's any discredit to the new DJs who don't necessarily do all those things?
I don't think there's a discredit, but I feel like it's not only in the DJ circle, it's the rappers, the producers, everything's like kind of like microwave. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like I said, like, when you do certain stuff and you like kind of like skip steps, it's like, if I make a reference, it's like, trying to work that camera right there and not reading the manual, and you're just winging it as you go along. You know what I'm saying? In your mind, you might think it's lit, but people might be looking at it like a little bit different than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you could do this better, that better. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's all a learning curve. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to respect technology. You got to respect the way shit moves. Now it's a lot faster, but at the same time, in your mind, you need to be able to realize that it could be way more effective if you actually took the time to learn shit. I mean, even I skip steps sometimes now, but it's like on certain shit. But I make sure I, apply stuff that I learned in the past to it to make it make sense.
Yeah. I gotta say, there's a lot of like, from me starting my DJ career, which obviously you witnessed, like there's a lot of people that hate And you were definitely not that, like, at all. Like,
no,
you
definitely.
embrace and, like, actually teach.
I would call Nyla if she's doing something wrong. I'm like, listen, bro, do it this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to help people, like, you know what I mean? Because I mean, like, you know, I wish I had someone to call to be like,
Right,
you know,
right.
to let me know, like, yo, like, this. You know, people call me all the time, like, yo, for opinions and shit, like, but I mean, you know, depending on who it is, like, I'll help them. If I don't fuck with you, then I don't fuck with you.
I
Like, you know
get
what I'm
that.
saying?
Do you
So-
think it? Oh,
go
go ahead,
ahead.
Nella.
Go ahead.
Do you think with the, like you said, with the everyone having the microwavable mentality and things of that nature, do you think there's a time, and especially with streaming being what it is now, with playlists and all that, do you think there's ever a time where the DJ hosted mixtape can come back?
Of course. Nah, people still call me the host mixtape. I say no all the time.
Yo,
Depending on what it is, like, you know what I mean?
Can it come
'Cause-
back? Nah, I'm telling niggas no.
Nah, I mean, no, I mean, I do host some mixtapes, and sometimes I gotta be like, nah, because it's like,
it gotta make sense.
it gotta be something. I'm not gonna just do it for the check. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? If I was doing stuff for the check, I'd be doing a lot more stuff than I'm doing. But
Right.
at the same time, like, I'm not gonna ruin my legacy for
Right.
a couple of dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you definitely think you and Drama could definitely come back, like, whenever y'all want?
me and John, we was actually talking about doing a project together. So I mean,
Yo, y'all should.
we was talking about
I don't
that.
think-
Everyone's trying to put us against each other, but you know what I'm saying? It's like,
That would be tough.
you know, whatever. You know.
Speaking of, whenever he got raided and they took all his money and all that, like, how did you feel watching that happen?
Were you looking out the window like?
Yeah, am I
I was
next?
actually like because when it started getting hot like that, I just stopped.
Oh, you stopped. You.
By that
I
time,
really
you already had Fab out. You
I'm not sure exactly when it happened, but I
That raid
know
was like
when and
early
I know
2000s.
That was
Yeah.
like the raid was like 06.
because he wasn't the first one to even get in trouble. So when people started getting in trouble, I was kind of like, yo, I don't know if it's really worth it for me to be.
Now, what is your conversation with the labels though? Because
I mean, the labels the labels were always with me, like, you know, but you know, sometimes it's bigger than the label reps and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
because the labels was with Drama too.
that's what I'm saying. So like, what are your conversations with the
Yeah,
label? Like,
but-
help us. Like,
But I think, you know what I'm saying, when it became like, you know, you like doing it on a level where like it's kind of like
running a label.
official,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? You got websites and all type of stuff. Like, they ain't going for that. That's like having, I mean, I ain't trying to diss them or nothing, but it's like, you know, having drugs. Like, I got weed, I got coke.
Right.
Yo, you selling it online and you shit.
It's
like,
one
wait,
thing for
wait,
everybody to
what?
look the other way when it's
Right.
done. Like, we ain't gonna bother. them.
quietly.
But then you over here with the
When you
opening up the
blatantly
building,
doing it, it's
Yeah.
yo,
like
the coke around the corner,
Yeah.
weed right here,
Yeah.
perp right over
Yeah,
there.
I get that. Okay.
It's not on that level, but you know what I mean.
I get you.
Yeah.
So,
Can
Because-
mixtapes still be used as a setup for an artist album or project, you think?
yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of labels skip that part of it, and it's like, and then the artists get mad, and then the label get mad when the shit don't work, but you skipping steps, like, you
They're
know?
definitely
Yeah.
skipping stuff. It's going backwards. We were even talking about before, like the way the mixtape has transitioned, right? From being what it is that you and Envy and you guys had started to then, you know, the G and the radio series where 50, you know, revolutionizes it, where it's like artist centric, and it's like, all right, well, since I can't get in, I'm gonna release these, and this is how I'm getting it out there. Then the blog era niggas came, and then, well, obviously then after G Unit, then Drama, and that happens, and then the blog era where they're called mixtapes just because they're not major label albums.
Right.
At that point, did you guys? You probably were too rich to care, but like when you start seeing mixtapes be albums, did you feel a way about the purest of it all? Like, this is not a mixtape. This is just an album that's not on a major label.
I mean, people talk about that, like, I mean, because even when we was talking about doing the verses, they was like, yo, like, you know, Drama got whole mixtapes with Wayne and stuff. Like, my mixtapes were more like, you know, like different artists. It
Yeah.
wasn't,
Yeah.
it was a variety. It wasn't like one artist and a bunch of songs from one artist. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Or even that
so
time we're
different.
talking about like LRG was putting out mixtapes, and like these clothing brands were putting out mixtapes, and did it ever feel like commercialized to you? And like, man, this is not what we started.
I mean, it felt like it's kind of commercialized. You know what I mean? Now it's just playlists are really mixtapes, to be honest.
So
Yeah.
Darren, so our producer said that, and I didn't understand it. What do y'all mean when y'all say the playlist?
It's the same thing. It's like, you know, you have like, let's say you have let's say for instance Spotify Rap Caviar. It's
Right.
Like a bunch of the new
Somebody's
songs.
putting you on.
It's like a bunch of new songs. It's like if that would be like Clue Tape, Rap
Yeah.
Caviar.
Okay.
Not saying that it. I mean, it wouldn't be like that is, but I mean, for instance, I mean, you know what I mean? Like that'd be like, let's say DJ Drama mixtape with songs from different artists. It's
Okay.
the same thing as a mixtape.
Okay, it's the same function.
Yeah, it's
Got
the same.
you.
It's the same thing. It's
Okay,
like,
now I understand.
other than the songs, you know, just playing by themselves, like in whatever order, like, you know what I mean? Like
Because Clue, you got exclusives all the time, and
I used
now
to get exclusives. I used to get songs that people would do just for me. I used to get freestyles. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little bit different. So like, you know, like
Was
if I
any
would- if I would-
you ever tossed?
Hmm?
Any songs that somebody sent you and you were like, I'm not using this.
of course,
All the time.
of course,
I don't heard his playlist.
You
You're
watch
like,
it-
I'm never putting this. I'm like, dang, that was kind of high,
of
right?
course.
It was kind of
It's kind of all right. But so if you had to name the 3 other people on that Mount Rushmore with you,
of mixtapes.
Come on,
Who is it?
Oh, I like
Who's
that
on
question.
this deal?
I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't know this question was coming. I like that.
Me
You know, I
neither.
got the
Nah, they put you
earphones.
on, but they're
I don't
saying
know.
you on the Rushmore. So who
Yeah.
the other three?
Yeah, but who am I to fuck you dishing up? Like,
Oh, come on, don't
you
do
know what
that.
I mean? Like, how am I
If you
supposed to say?
they put you on the Rushmore, it's not like you saying like who's you on the Rushmore. We acknowledging that
Yeah,
you
but you
there.
ask me who else I'm gonna add on there. I mean, this could be zillions of names.
Oh,
Who,
this
like,
is crazy.
It don't
It's
gotta
too
be
many.
don't
This
make
is
it
not.
personal.
This is not the same guy that was snuffing bootleggers. This is not. This is not the same
Don't
guy.
make it personal. Just if from the outside looking in, who do you think hip hop would pick?
It's
doesn't
definitely
matter.
you.
I mean, people might not pick me though.
Nah, that's crazy.
Nah, come on,
It's
Clue.
you.
Yeah.
It's drama.
Way to be
I get-
modest. We know you're modest. You don't gotta do that.
You can say that right now. I get a lot. There's a lot of hate out there, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people, like, you know, they just have. Everyone has their own opinions. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
True.
even if you go online and say like, oh, the top DJs of all time, like a lot of people have their own opinions of who they like. You know what I'm saying? Who they fuck with? Who like Nyla has her artists that she likes.
Yes, they
You have your
suck.
artists that you like.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
do
Or
that.
Like no one
artists
from DC,
trash.
Maryland area can do wrong for Nyla, and I respect it. So I might say the same thing about Queens or like, you know what I mean, New York. You know what I mean? So it's
Touche. Touche. All right. So you don't gotta give us that, but give us
Maryland bias is crazy.
what? I mean, you the one who brought up Wale today, not me. I
Wale's
agree.
fire.
Top 3 and not 3 best mixtapes.
Nah,
But
you're number
Clue,
one. That's the best one.
top 3 best mixtapes.
You can't
Top
even say
three
that. You can't even give us that.
Top 3 best mixtapes
Yeah.
of all time.
And if you wanna do eras, we'll take eras. So 2 lists.
To be honest,
What if you had to pick one from every era? If you had to pick one from your era, you got to pick one from the drama era.
but to be
and then pick
honest,
one from the blog era.
to be honest, I don't consider a mixtape of the same artist.
The actual mixtape.
A
Actual,
mixtape.
I don't
Okay.
consider that a mixtape. To,
It's just
to me
it's just an
personally,
album. Yeah, I
I
can
feel like
understand that.
you could. It's like an album.
Yeah.
So
it's
you would
one
cut
artist.
drama out. You just saying
I'm not saying I will cut them out. I'm just saying like
But he
He's
does
talking about
have
the
some that
artist.
aren't.
So
Drama
he-
does have some that are a mix.
which ones
He does.
outside of gangster outside of his own album? Which one?
I'm thinking about the album.
Yeah,
actually.
the Gangsta Girl album is the only compilation he has. Everything else is he did it with one artist. He brings up a valid point.
Let me look that up. But no, that is a good
That's
point.
a valid point. I never thought about it like that. Like comparing it to like
you
the
can't
block.
you can't compare Show Me the Money Part 2 to
Because that's different. Because then it's like
Yeah.
an album versus a
'cause,
playlist.
you know, like let's say I had it's like, you know, I had Deluxe and Jay-Z and Source Money and Mace and like,
Right.
you can't compare that to like an album with just Jay-Z, like, you know, or mixtape with just Jay-Z on it. It's like it's
Yeah.
not fair. It's not a fair
Were
comparison.
you able to pick your head up at the time and be able to appreciate what was going on at that moment when you're getting these exclusives, like how on fire you were with the
Oh no,
professional tape?
I knew like when I got the exclusive, I knew like, you know what I mean, like this is, but like, you know, because I would go in, you know what I'm saying, go in and do the freestyle with the artist sometimes, like, you know, you just know you about to come into some money, like, yo, this shit right here, this shit gonna go crazy.
But you didn't feel like that about.
Because like, let's say you do, let's say you get, it's like, all right, for instance, like let's say like nowadays you'll have, let's say someone like maybe like a little baby or something comes and does a freestyle,
Mhm.
it's exclusive to you, and
Yeah.
you about to go sell
Yeah.
it. It's like it's not like you about to just put it online and put it on your Instagram and put it on YouTube. Like
Yeah.
you about to go press it up and put it in the street and hand to hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Niggas gonna give you $10 for it.
Right.
A wop. You like you about so imagine having like let's
You
say
knew
I
he was
had a
about to-
mixtape. I had the Locks when the Locks was on fire. Jay-Z, Mace, like you have all these dudes doing freestyle. Like you have 3 or 4 freestyles and then have a bunch of new songs. You about to come into some cash, bro.
Right.
Mm.
Let's talk about that Hard Knock Life tour. Life changing.
Yeah, it was. You know what? That's another thing. Like you know what I mean. Like a lot of DJs might never be able to. I mean, now it might be different, but back then, like you know, like when I say learning curve, like you know, like you going from town to town and you seeing just like how, you know, they got
People
their
move to
own
different
artists.
things, yeah.
They like
Yeah.
different songs, different music. Like you like, I'm from New York. I go to Dallas. You play Jay-Z and they wasn't fucking with it. You be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't fuck with J-Hove. Like you play go play the. Back then, you go play the hottest Jay-Z song. That's on fire in New York, Baltimore, Virginia.
All the
you go to
East.
Dallas, play and it's crickets.
Damn.
You be like, and then everyone look at you like, wait, what? Like,
Are you loyal? You like, damn, what do I play now?
I mean, it's like I said, it's the learning curve.
Gotta
Like,
tap
you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely. I learned that
You
doing
go-
trap
you go to-
karaoke.
you go-
Like,
you got to go tap in and find out when you go to whatever city, like, what's that shit? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or what's the genre you got to play? And like, you go to the Bay, you got to play the hypey shit and all that. Like, you just got to know, like,
There's so many levels to, like you said, learning curve and being a DJ, but even like being an opener DJ and then the middle DJ and what the closing DJ is supposed to play.
I just tweeted about that before I came. I just tweeted that no DJ wants to be the opening DJ. Every DJ wants to be the one who comes on and plays all the hits.
But they don't know their role, so I want you to break it down as to what each DJ is supposed to play. 'Cause these new DJs don't know; they're learning off of
I had
YouTube.
Booth on my other podcast guy next to I had DJ Booth on, and he said the opening DJ should be paid more.
Cause you got the hardest part getting them to
Booth
get
said
busy.
that. And Booth is a closer.
Why is that? If the open,
The
okay,
DJs went crazy. All the DJs went crazy. I can show the comments. He started DJ wars. Like niggas like, nah, you bugging out.
why should the opening? First of all, the opening DJ
Is the new kid on the block?
should be playing songs that's not that current, but still were hot. So, if they already learned what to play from before,
Right.
why should they get paid more? That don't make sense.
Because they have to keep the party hot before y'all get there.
Yeah, but
Matter of fact, let me get Booth on the phone
but
so he
the
can explain it.
opening DJ,
No,
DJ
no.
already learned from
It's kind of like the hardest part
the
of the
prime
job.
time DJ
Yeah.
who played that stuff a year
Years ago.
Right. Yeah, but still, he has to do it today.
So
Well,
what?
I want
that
And
makes it
he-
easier. If I tell you like, yo, figure out how to work this iPad, right? But you already, let's say you had iPad 1 and you already learned how to, like everyone
gonna
already
be
showed you how to
easy.
work it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be easier for you.
But as long
Dishwasher-
as I can keep this iPad working, as long as I get it working so you could get here and do your job.
But
you
that's
know,
just
I'm also not a DJ. I'm a host.
The
So, like,
dishwasher and
my-
the busboy
biggest-
doesn't
the-
get paid
the-
as much as the chef. You know, the dishwasher and busboy get
the
they
biggest
work
fight,
for-
the biggest fight with an opening DJ is the urge to play the hits.
yeah.
Yeah.
They want to play the hits so bad, like, oh, I want to play this record shit hard. But
So you don't think the opening DJ price should go up?
No, I
don't make
don't even.
sense.
I'm not even asking that question for the price to go up. I'm asking that question because
do you think the bench players on the Lakers should get paid more than the stars?
On the Lakers?
I'm just saying.
everybody's
I'm making a
losing.
reference.
Everybody's losing, so no, all the niggas get paid less till they
Okay,
start winning.
let's say the Warriors. You think the bench players should get paid more than Steph and
No,
Draymond?
but they're not doing the work.
Why
the
not?
opening DJ is doing the. Imagine you get a shitty opening DJ.
But-
Everybody in the club is going before the headliner get there.
That's not true.
everybody
Nope.
got a role to
You
play.
think everybody's gonna?
Niggas don't even show up till late, bro.
Everybody got a role to play, but I just remember like you and Don DeMarco used to be like, yeah, you know, like do R&B or like do the classics, like early classics. But then when I get to parties, the openers before me, if I'm the middle, the opener would be playing fucking Sheck West and everything that's high right now. Then I'm like,
Also, go ahead. I'm sorry.
to me, that's just bozo. You on bozo time.
Yeah, you got.
You already know you ruining the party.
yeah,
Because it's supposed to go. A party's supposed to go like this. It's not supposed to go start from the, like
Low.
you don't have
like
sex and come first and then have sex because it ain't gonna work out for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you gotta work your way up to it. So it's like the opening DJ's job is to, you know, play some joints like, oh, I forgot about that. That's hard. That's my shit. That used to be my shit. All right. And then keep the energy decent. And then when the prime time DJ gets there, they get it super hype.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
a club owner's nightmare is the person who came to hear the hard record that got there a little bit earlier, hears the record they want to hear, and like, fuck, I'm about to go home and leave and don't buy no more drinks.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want that. You want to be like, damn, I'm waiting to hear my joint.
I've cut niggas off. I've been like, yo, boy, come on, don't drop that. That's why like if like Nyla tell you, like when I'm hosting, I'll be right here. I'll be like, nah, don't play it, bro.
Listen, that's what the opening DJs, a lot of them feel like in their mind, they feel like they should be the ones.
They also going for self, right? Like there's also not that, like the camaraderie of it all, of like just the culture is not there anymore. Like a nigga's going for self. Like a nigga don't care about this party. Like back in the day, they was like, oh, this was the Wednesday night spot. Everybody here. So that the DJs were like a team.
Yeah.
Now you got DJ from over here. Got DJ
a lot
from
of
over
DJs
here.
have multiple parties, so they have multiple parties. So they're gonna come in. They're gonna come in the party and want to fucking play all the hits and then leave. Like, all right, yo, it's 12 o'clock. I'm going to my other party.
And do that at every party.
Yeah,
now he done opened up 3 parties.
Yeah.
Clue, last few questions. Thank you for your time. You have a radio show on every night.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you see like just blowing up as an artist this year? Like what's the one that you're feeling right now?
This year, I mean, I really haven't heard nobody super new that's crazy like that. That's
You said all these niggas is trash?
Well, maybe not new.
Trash.
Who you think is just gonna blow in 2022?
That probably has the best chance of blowing.
Yeah.
Probably someone like a Nardo Wick. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like Nardo.
Nardo got some shit with him. You know what I'm saying? I've been talking about YoungBoy for years. Like, I feel like niggas is just like now seeing the light. Like I always thought he was really, really talented.
Just now seeing the light up here.
You think he's gonna get commercial success like now?
I mean, I think he's
super successful already.
Definitely in the South.
Yeah.
He been
that YouTube. He
I've
got
been saying
YouTube in a chokehold.
Stay out of
years
jail.
ago.
He's been having some jail issues.
Yeah, that YouTube he got in a chokehold.
Yeah, YouTube. Like,
but maybe we'll start hearing him on the radio more.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, look how long it took Dirk, man.
Look at my boy Dirk.
Dirk been working for a long time, bro.
Dirk got signed in what, like 2012, 2011?
I've been looking at some of the old pictures we got, and I'm like, God damn. Like,
yeah, dreads, took the dreads off, got the dreads back.
He had the Caesar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Caesar, one small chain. Now look at him. He's like, he's there.
Yeah, he's the guy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way like you should ever think in your mind that you're gonna give up. Like, you just keep working because you just never know.
Nah, there's some niggas that should
never
give up.
know.
Yeah,
I mean, of course
some niggas.
A lot of niggas that should give up.
A lot of the new rappers are just doing like, you know, they because of technology, like I said, they go in, they go in the booth, they don't write their rhymes down, but they don't because they heard about it. It ain't because, you know what I mean, they feel like if they don't do that, then they not doing what's popping. Like, I'm not.
That's whack.
They
That's
go in the booth,
whack.
and then you hear a lot of the raps. Just like it's like, you can tell that it's line. Like, you going to say ba 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 ba. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could tell like they don't write their rhymes out. They just
writing words down.
Punch line on top of lines, and it's like you hear them rapping on. They all converge on top of each other. Like, that's
let me ask you this. If in 2022 you bring the professional back, who's on that tape?
Professional back?
If you bring the professional series back, who is on that tape for sure. No ifs and buts. The labels don't gotta call you and beg.
Before you answer, can I get a skit? I just want a skit. Let me just say something.
Tell her no.
Just
Please
let me
tell
say
her no. For
something,
the
please.
community.
I mean,
For the community, tell her no.
Shut up, Max.
you know what it is? Like, to be honest with you, man, it's like the biggest thing that had me like even stop doing those type of projects is like the clearance should be a headache, bro.
No, but we're talking about obviously in a this is like
alternate reality.
Of course, you know, it had to be like, you know, Lil Durk, Lil Baby,
the voice and the hero,
Young Boy, the Baby,
Moneybag,
of course, Moneybag. My guy T.O. Green, who got some hot joints. Rick Ross, I fuck with a lot.
I
mean, look,
this tape sounds crazy already. Not gonna lie to you.
I feel like if I'm in there curating it, bro, it's gonna be some shit. Like,
I want R&B Clue too, though.
Bro,
I would definitely.
I want R&B Clue.
I would definitely do some R&B shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do some R&B shit. I was just telling my niece this, man, because she's younger, so I walked in and she was playing Music Soul Child, and I'm like,
oh, that's all the kids do. Yeah, I love that. My oldest is 15. All she do is listen to R&B from like 2001, 2002.
Because I feel like, you know, when they first get onto music, I feel like it's cool, and then they start. And I told her, like, you starting to realize that a lot of the older R&B is way harder than some of the shit that's out now.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what happened to us.
And it's just because, you know, and I told him, like, yo, way back when, like, R&B was the genre that was the hottest and had the most artists. Now it's the reverse. Now it's more hip hop artists.
Yeah.
Than R&B. Like, even the R&B, a lot of it is hip hopish. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? It's not like it's like straight R&B. We had, like, you know, mad R&B groups, and you don't even have no R&B groups no more.
Yeah. We was talking about groups not too long ago.
People think that shit's corny now.
So, Clue, on the show, we ask a question, we try to answer it at the end. We circled around a little bit. You think in March of 2022, April 2022, is the mixtape dead?
No, why? Nah, I'm not gonna say that.
He said, I ain't putting no date on it.
Nah.
People, where is it at?
But the mixtape?
I would say it's dead.
It could definitely come back. I mean, like,
right, we could revive it from the dead, but right now it's dead.
Is it quiet?
I'm not gonna say it's dead. It's just that, you know what I mean? Like I said, like,
it's different.
People feel like
evolve.
Where the tapes at? That's what. If the mixtape not dead, where the tapes
now.
at?
They're EPs.
First of all, it's not gonna be called. There's no such thing as cassettes no more. They don't make them no more.
No, I'm just saying where the tapes at. What I'm saying, where's the product? Where is it at? Like, where are these things? No matter what medium they're using, where are the mixtapes? Where are these things that the people are pushing? Fully autonomous of the label. A lot
of artists be feeling like they're bigger than that now. Like they feel like they don't need the mixtape.
That's what I'm saying.
But nah, they call. I think me and Grisella, me and Wes had a couple meetings a few weeks ago. We're doing a mixtape with one of his new artists. It's kind of he fired too. He got some shit with him.
Fly.
I'm not gonna say no names, but.
No, we can't get an exclusive here. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. You're not even looking out for the young media.
The exclusives.
The young
Come
media
on.
conglomerates.
I mean, I look. If I wanted to drop a mixtape right now, I could, because I got a bunch of songs like with everyone you can name. I got songs in the can.
I don't know what you are doing. I don't know. You got easy bangers.
Yeah, she heard some of them.
Yeah, you got easy bangers.
And you refuse to let them fly.
Yo, he just be enjoying them to himself all selfishly. I be walking in like, yo, what is
like
this?
I said, like, you know, the clearance shit, man, sometimes be a headache, man. So sometimes it be timing. You know what I mean? So I plan on putting some records out. I'm just waiting for a couple clearances to go through, man. You know, niggas be having their own agendas, so it's like,
well, Clue, we are definitely waiting.
You got new Hove? You got new Hove?
I don't even think he be rapping no more like that.
Come on, look at how disrespectful we are.
All right.
He don't be rapping like that.
All right, because he loves. I don't even feel like getting into it.
I would love to hear new Clue Hove record.
Nas all the time.
Why?
Nas' ass.
Yo, he shits on Nas all. It's
crazy.
It's disgusting.
Your favorite rapper wouldn't say that.
Jay-Z would say he's your ass.
His favorite rapper is Joe Budden.
Yo, bro, stop playing.
All right, so yo, Clue, thank you so much for stopping by and kicking it with
Joe
us.
Budden don't want to rap no more. He said, I asked him to freestyle. I was like, I don't rap no more. Man.
Thank God.
Yeah. You
Why?
asked him for a freestyle?
Now listen, when Joe
We're
was
not doing this.
when
No,
Joe was
we're not
when
doing
Joe was rapping, Joe was elite at rapping. When he was rapping, he was elite at rapping. I don't want to hear him rap no more. I want,
gosh.
like he just
podcast.
I don't listen to that shit either. I just stay over
Why?
there. He a
The
clown.
podcast we done.
Why?
We on the Black Effect
do that.
podcast.
He's a clown.
We
All right,
are on
well,
the
just
Black
I'ma tell you why he a
Effect
clown.
Podcast Network. We are on the Black Effect
A
Podcast
real
Network.
podcast
A
network.
real network. Okay.
Damn, cuz. Y'all not gonna sit here and slander my man Joe, man.
No,
He
we
don't
not
have no
slandering,
network.
but his network. He just.
What network? He got
That's
one
like
don't
me
matter.
being like
It
the
don't
Pretty
matter.
Tomboy Network. I got no
Listen,
network.
listen,
I got no niggas
listen,
under me. You
listen.
can't just do that.
Listen, but I wouldn't let no one slander you when I'm sitting here.
They
I
not
respect
slandering.
that. I
Ain't
respect
gonna
that.
happen.
I
Nobody
respect that.
slandered it. If
I'm
she
just
had
saying.
the Pretty Tomboy network and it
Listen,
wasn't a
at
network.
the end of the day, you gotta start from somewhere. There was no such thing as Tesla. Was there?
No.
There wasn't.
I mean, there wasn't,
You
but
know
the-
what the fuck it
the
was
whole plan- that whole
until you
plan
came
was
out and made all that
years
money.
What
ago.
does that
nigga.
have to do
That
with
plan
this?
I'm just
has been-
saying, you gotta make a name, you gotta build it. No
Oh,
one,
so that,
no
Yo,
one
Tesla
knew who the
had a
fuck.
plan for that car for years.
that's-
It
so-
just
so you
finally
telling me
got
who the fuck
executed.
was-
Nah, so you tell him the JV it's just it's
When
a
Clue
theory.
came out and Clue was just a question mark, that's what it was.
No,
It was
we're
a
not
question
doing
mark.
this.
And then
No.
when the shit blew, and niggas just knew what
Oh
it was.
my God.
You
You
gotta
know what?
respect it.
So you gonna start your podcast on the Joe Button Network?
I was starting my podcast on my own network.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
on
okay.
the Clue Radio
the thing
Network.
is, you got real networks. That's all we're saying. You have networks.
Hey,
He's got a brand.
You got
Teach
multiple
To
businesses.
each their own, man.
Respect. Salute to all the entrepreneurs. Yo, Clue, thank you so much for stopping
Got
by
you,
and kicking
got
it
you.
with us. Mouse, you always start.
And
Like,
make sure
we
y'all
had-
check out that T.O. Green featuring Rick Ross OnlyFans.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's out there right now. Just came out not too long ago.
How else can they support you? What if you got anything else going on? How can they keep up with you?
Of course, you guys support sovereign brands, Bel Air, Vion,
Okay.
McQueen. You know what I'm saying? Bumble. You know what I'm saying? That's the fam right there. You gotta support that.
It's a lot. You just had a lot of money just now.
DJ
It kept
That's what it
ding, ding,
Clue.
That's what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Support the fam.
Appreciate that.
Got
Love
you.
Clue. Thank you.
Peace, y'all.